Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. My name is Kenneth Berenson. And if you're new to this channel, in this channel, we are talking about human energy and we are channeling Ascended Master Yeshuah's teachings. And that is coming from A Course in Miracles and the actual psychology and the inside workings. And so a lot of these are them guiding me to guide you to share what they want us to know at this stage on the trajectory of consciousness that we're on, because we're all ascending in frequencies, right? We are during these times, we are all ascending, we're all going through something. But what we see is that there are still many beings are not sure about how to maneuver these frequencies because they're new. These frequencies that are on the planet, they're new for many. They haven't experienced that in their bodies before for so many centuries. You have to understand. There's so many centuries of these bodies have been in survival, fend for themselves, and all these sneaky ways that it has had to sort of mold to be able to function in this world. You know, wherever you ended up, because you ended up in your body, in your situation, and we are all in different. We are all in our different world, it seems like, right? And so when you are invited here into my space, then, or our space, I should say, because we don't feel like we're just one being here. We are a collective of consciousness that are communicating through this being. We totally get this confusion with genders, because that is what's happening with consciousness. Consciousness is getting more aware of that there are multiple facets, and our human consciousness, the collective, we're getting more and more familiar with how we can expand and see and read, and we are seeing clearly what actually is and always has been when you are aligned to truth. Truth is such an important thing, and beings have that screwy with social acceptance, what they can get away with as the truth for some beings. And that we get it also, because with Kenneth, when we were in a dualistic perspective, we get it. We get the perspective that you hold in a human body when you look at reality like that. And we get that it can seem so far off. You know, we get it. It's a thing. And now we're in this perspective, this holistic perspective, and we can see that, wow, this feels more empowering. This feels more inclusive. This feels that it takes everything into consideration, so that we don't pretend to talk to one another when there are survival things going on. You know, like, there are things that can be projected, and all kinds of things can happen when you are engaged with another human being. Because most beings focus out projecting the reality outside, remember. And that means that you will feel an energy. Because what they disown, They're sort of energetically asking you to feel it. And if you just follow the energy, you're falling for the trap. You know? But if you are standing put and you are just feeling the feelings and just allowing it to be, and just feel deeper into like, oof, feels kind of nauseated, or like then you get into the body and the feeler part, right? And these are different layers of energy. And it's sort of like we have to get through the filters of the mind first before we can get to the body fully. It's like we have to show the mind that it's safe to feel. It's safe to look at reality correctly. It's safe. You don't have to hide and pretend anymore. You can actually learn to use your energy in a way that is very harmonious and really works in favor of this whole ecosystem. And that is what the holistic perspective will do. And it's not a quick fix for many. Many are on different levels of conscious awareness when it comes to this sort of transition into the new earth, as many have called it. We have experienced this on and off we are in the new earth, where we feel more. And we remember the transition. Wow. So we are always transcending up and down in frequency. But sometimes there are these bigger transitions that when you align your energy with truth, there is some self-respect that gets built, because you start to see the truth of things, you know, the truth of this reality. Because this reality can only be felt truly. You can have a lot of ideas, but unless they are rooted in reality, is what we're saying. That also means unless you have a resonance with your feeler, which means, yeah, I agree with this. Let's do that one. Unless you have that correlation, I wouldn't do anything if I were you. I would question. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that correlation between what you're seeing and feeling. And that's what the holistic perspective is. It is a perspective equally to the dualistic perspective. We're just speaking matter of fact about what it is. We're not making it mean anything, that it's good or bad or nothing. It's just we're observing the energy and how the energy moves, knowing that we have learned to feel the bodies properly. And it might be a lot of people that needs to go through some just allowance that it's okay to relax. And you can go to therapists and have these kind of somatic experiences and where they move your exactly in that moment where it releases and all of that stuff. You can do that. It's very popular. But you can also align to the truth and follow the truth. What will happen when you do that is that whatever is closest to you will be your next step. You will find those clues. It's where those synchronistic moments are, is in the holistic perspective. So when you know what to look for, then it's easy to follow, because you can see literal proof in the environment. That's how you have to actually start to verify. We have to verify. We, the body, Kenneth, the logical, kind of skeptical mind, like, we are skeptical. We're skeptical by nature. And it makes sense to us that this is the only option for humanity to survive, to integrate these two. That's how important it is. The knower and the feeler. Integrate with the body. Not from a book, not from a video, not from your own experience with your body. Receiving your personal feedback. That can only happen when you've stopped seeking out there. And when you have dealt with those things, so that you get your own space, so that you get to truly feel the depth of you. You are a remarkable, deep being at your core. You have a depth to you that very few get to see. And we are not saying that you have to start to share that with everyone. That's what we feel like is worth protecting, that special uniqueness, that tender part of each human being. Every one of us has that. Even how much we pretend that we're tough, if we're men, let's say, or women. That's just pretend. Getting a lot of muscles can be fun. It's exciting. But there can always be imbalances there. We're not saying that anyone has one, but it can be. But if you are, of course, having your goal to be Mr. Fitness, then, of course, having a really overly training goal is in alignment with that. And this is where each and every one of you needs to follow your own calling, because no one can find their calling by looking outside. That can only be found within. That's what they say, found within. And then they make it sound like a big riddle, right? What? It helps with the sort of dramatic parts of the ego. It sort of speaks to that. But it's still a little bit dramatic, right? This is just fuel. It truly is when we're channeling. And so when you get past, we're doing a little bit practical energy work as well. Because if you only listen to this information with your intellect, you're not gonna get very far with that. Because then it's just another good idea. What we are explaining here is the energetic truth that can only be felt if you're there or not. And you feel that with these openings. Like right now we can feel the lower second chakra sort of like opening and releasing and just oozing out more like this flowery type of patterns. That's what it feels like. And the same in the solar plexus, sort of like different, but sort of similar-ish, right? And that's how like we can feel those ripples. And if you sensitize to your body, you can feel those things. Maybe you don't feel anything. That's okay. Notice that. And just feel. And just allow for that deepening, which only can happen when you have your own space. When we were in the dualistic perspective, partners and things like that, sleeping in the same bed, away, like it doesn't, like you need your own space. It's what we felt. And we can feel that because you can adopt to a lot of things. You can adopt to sleep together and you can do all of that. But we noticed that when we fell asleep, that our body just want to naturally just get rid of everything because it needs to heal through its own cycle. Right? That's just, it's going to be healthy to sleep alone. Because then your energy field gets to replenish with your energy. And the more space you have, the better we sort of feel. Because the more you can sort of really sink in. There's something to that. It's a bodily feeling that you can get to. Which we felt was trickier in an apartment to get that same level of depth. Being in the dualistic perspective, right? So it's more disconnected energy. It's like you're getting granted more energy when you anchor more of who you are. It's like life is gifting you with more. Do some calibrations. This feels so good. We just want to keep this flow. So we are naturally getting guided to do certain things. That is part of the channeling, is sort of like a light language type of thing that you can feel when you tune into it. So we're doing a little bit of that. That is what we are being guided to do. All right. Working on the solar plexus, in the throat, around the ears, it's a really hot spot for distorted energies. Whispering in your ears, trying to, like it's all here, this area here. We can feel that is needed to cleanse. So if you would like a cleanse, please agree. I call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, the Galactic Family of Light, Gaia for assistance with these transmissions in the up-leveling of everyone that is watching this transmission, to level up in consciousness right now, to anchor further, deeper, to open up the crown chakra and allow for that upper chakra and all of those upper to open one by one by one by one, and just let your head just relax and just let yourself feel that. And just let that build. So there's more energy coming from the top down, and just let that move wherever it needs to move. Don't filter anything. Let everything be seen. Let everything be okay, and allow. Your job is to allow for that energy to grow. If you can soften something or tap, or you can work with the energy like this to just sometimes actually doing physical movements, like there are some Kundalini yoga positions that really helps open up these channels so that you can feel those energies better, and you are actually opening up those so that they are flowing more harmoniously, and they're energy pathways deep inside that we are working with right now to open and to allow for those, so that you really feel that you're rooting down through your feet. That's really important, so that there are signals all the way here that we are loosening and relaxing right now, so that there is a letting go deeper. Just feel that. This is a deeply cleansing energy bath that you're experiencing right now. Wow. We can feel it build. Fix your posture. It's important to not slouch or be in crooked positions when you receive energy like this. Be in either seated, laying, have the channels open so you get to tune in. Highly recommend during these that you lay, so that you make sure that if you get lightheaded, you are laying. That is a very good practice for these, because sometimes we are going quite deep. That feels really good. Just to report what I'm feeling from the body as well, so that you get that perspective as well. Continuing to work on the energy and allowing whatever distortions that you may experience in your field, it will be revealed to you much stronger right now. So feel for that, and also loosen up, relax, start to open and allow the energy flow to run smoothly through your system, from top down and from down up. What will naturally happen is when you are allowing everything to come down and you are also allowing things to come up, everything will just smooth out in this smooth sort of really yummy energy that can build really strong sort of layers of protection. This sort of can feel like, like it's just well-being. It's just feeling open. That's what it feels like. That is the protection. It doesn't feel like protection. Protection feels like this. That's fear. This is just being open. But that seems like, can seem intimidating for some that's not used to being open. And so whatever that you experience during these channeling transmissions, know that it's okay. Know that it's okay to feel this way. Know that you are igniting a lot of energy, but also know that your spirit team, your guides, and all of us are monitoring so that you get only what you can handle. Remember that. There are safety mechanisms everywhere. You can only get what you can handle, and it will benefit you. Whatever happens in your life is a gift. Whatever happens in your life is a gift. Look for it. We love you. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again in another one. Okay, I can feel that I can just bliss out on this energy. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm inviting you to do the same. If you have been laying down for this, if you haven't, highly recommend that you start again and lay down and really tune into this. It's a lot of powerful energy you can attune to through this video. We love you, and please let us know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you again in the next one.